it is the Queen's colors, and they do what is called the sweeping of the colors during that royal salute.
Right, and that's where the flag touches the ground. Of course,
You
the
may be
Jamaican
seated.
flag cannot touch the ground. So, for certain, rest your heart, it is not the Jamaican flag.
We just thought we would point that out for those like myself who would be wondering what is happening at
Why is
King's
the flag
House.
touching the ground?
No, it's not the flag at all. It's the Queen's colors. So we're getting ready now to see the march off of the Guard of Honor. And once they leave the parade area, we will get right into the presentation of awards.
And of course, when they're marching off, what you will be hearing is Great Little Army.
Indeed.
Yes.
And I'm one of those old fogies. I love this kind of music. I like it. It's different. It's not something you hear every day.
It's almost regal.
It is exactly that. That's a perfect word to describe it. Regal it is. And it is different. It's important, I think, for us to maintain this aspect of our heritage and our
Indeed.
culture. I mean, there's
Indeed.
always a place for new music and the EDMs of this world, but I do believe that there is a place for things that are part of who we are as a nation.
And that is why it is important for persons joining the Jamaica National Service Corps to get involved in the massed bands.
Definitely. And we see them getting ready to leave. We're looking now on screen at Lady Allen just lovingly tending to her husband. You don't often see that kind of interaction between them, but it really is heartwarming to see that, you know, they're a regular couple, you know. Lady Allen, they're fixing him up. And he is going to have a lot of work to do today. As we mentioned, we have 206 Jamaicans who will be getting awards, so he will be standing for significant periods of time. And as you mentioned, we're listening to Great Little Army is the piece of music that's being played as the Guard of Honor marches off. As they leave, we see other members of the team moving into place for the main presentations this morning. We will, of course, start with the highest honor that will be given out.
And that, of course, is the Order of Merit, as we mentioned earlier. And that will be given to the Honorable Harry Belafonte.
As I said, Vanessa, it is going to be a really good morning. It's nice and warm. So the heavens held up and it's not
I was
raining.
a little worried because
Right.
earlier, before daybreak, it was raining.
Yeah, and
So
it did rain all day yesterday.
It did.
But it's good.
It's wonderful to see the sunshine.
And it's not too hot, I have to admit. It's
Nice and cool.
It's warm. We don't have much of a breeze, but we anticipate that it will improve.
I think the heavens know that this is the perfect day, and so they've given us perfect weather.
And can you imagine for all of the recipients and their families? I mean, I don't think that it would matter too much to them if it rained, but they would certainly have a great day no matter what, because it is so good to see your loved one, your husband, your mother, your father walk up to receive a national award.
Being recognized by your country, that is something special.
Definitely. And the Governor General is now making his way to the presentation platform. And you see the massed band marching off.
His Excellency the Governor General, acting in accordance with the provisions of the National Honors and Awards Act, has been pleased, on the advice of the Prime Minister, to give orders for the conferment of the Order of Merit upon the following persons with effect from the 6th of August 2018. For appointment as members of the Order of Merit, Dr. the Honorable Harry Belafonte, for outstanding contribution in the field of music. Dr. Belafonte is unable to be with us this morning.
And we know Harry Belafonte
His Excellency
is
the Governor
famous
General,
for songs
acting
like
in
the Banana
accordance with the
Boat
provisions of the
and
National
Deo.
Honors and Awards Act, has been pleased, on the advice of the Prime Minister, to give orders for the conferment of the Order of Jamaica upon the following persons with effect from the 6th of August 2018. For appointment as members of the Order of Jamaica, Mr. Godfrey Glengoff Dyer, Commander of the Order of Distinction, for exceptional contribution in the field of tourism.
And the name Godfrey Dyer is synonymous with tourism in Jamaica. His association with the tourism sector spans over 45.
Mr. Earl Wesley Adolph Jarrett, Commander of the Order of Distinction, for exceptional contribution to the banking and financial sectors, public service and volunteerism.
Another very well-known Jamaican, Earl Jarrett, for more than 2 decades, has been a corporate visionary. He, at the helm of the Jamaica National Building Society, he's been there since 1997 and has served as an executive with responsibility for compliance and overseas subsidiaries, and was appointed the general manager in 1999. Has expanded that organization and has really been a force to be reckoned with in the private sector. Earl Jarrett, Order of Jamaica.
Miss Grace Beverly Jones, for exceptional contribution in the field of entertainment internationally.
A rousing round of applause for the incomparable Grace Jones. She is a singer, songwriter, supermodel, record producer, and actress. Miss Jones was born in Spanish Town, where she was raised by her grandparents before migrating at age 13 with her siblings to New York. Of course, she is known for her appearances in James Bond picture A View to Kill, Conan the Destroyer, and the comedy Boomerang. The seemingly ageless Grace Jones is still in demand as a model, and she continues to perform live in concert. These are very rare sights because we don't often get to see Grace Jones live unless it is a concert.
And she always makes a statement. I mean, her hat is
Always.
definitely Grace Jones this morning. A fabulous lady.
Mr. Giuseppe Francesco Mafisante, Commander of the Order of Distinction, for exceptional contribution to the construction industry, social development, welfare, and philanthropy.
Mr. Mafisante has made significant contribution to the nation through his construction and architectural firm, Mafisante Builders Limited, which is based in Western Jamaica. He has assisted many families over the years in construction of their homes through volunteering the services of his construction company. His outstanding philanthropic work began in the 1980s and included providing over 100 loaves of bread every day, free of cost, to the Montego Bay Infirmary. He's the past president of the Western Builders Association and current member of the Incorporated Master Builders Association of Jamaica. Well deserved, Giuseppe Mafisante.
His Excellency, the Governor General, acting in accordance with the provisions of the National Honors and Awards Act, has been pleased, on the advice of the Prime Minister, to give orders for the conferment of the Order of Distinction upon the following persons with effect from the 6th of August 2018 for appointment as members of the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander. Michael Anthony Amar Jr. for outstanding contribution to the mercantile trade in Jamaica.
So Michael Anthony Amar is the first of 34 Jamaicans who will be receiving the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander. So we have other recipients this morning for the Order of Distinction in officer class, but 34 for Commander class. Michael Amar, first in that
Ms.
group this morning.
Alia Shanae Atkinson for outstanding representation of Jamaica in the field of swimming and being the first black woman to win a world championship title.
An awesome young lady this morning with such grace and humility. Alia Atkinson is Jamaica's most successful swimmer at the international level. A multi-Olympian and breaststroke specialist, she began her Olympic career at only 16 years old in 2004. She completed where she completed the 50-meter freestyle and the 100-meter breaststroke. And as you heard from the applause, she is
Mr.
the darling of
Winston
Jamaica.
Franklin Barnes for outstanding contribution to popular music and broadcasting.
Veteran broadcaster Winston Franklin Barnes has played a major role in the development of electronic media and its practitioners. He is considered to be among the best radio personalities and musicologists to emerge from Jamaica. Local media houses that he's worked for include the JBC, that's the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, and our very own Jamaica Information Service, that's the JIS.
Dr. Clifford Augustus Bradford for outstanding contribution to the field of veterinary medicine.
Born in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, Dr. Clifford Bradford has made invaluable contribution to the racing industry. He's a graduate of the Jamaica School of Agriculture, graduated in 1964, and Cornell University, where he qualified as a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in 1970. In 1985, he specialized in equine medicine and surgery, working in the racing industry, where he has given yeoman service for over 3
Everett
decades.
Errol Brown for contribution to the field of religion.
Pastor Brown was born in Ramble in Manchester and served for more than 33 years in pastoral ministry. He has served the Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists as district pastor and evangelist, and has led the Central Jamaica Conference, which comprises the parishes of St. Catherine, Clarendon, and Manchester, in its transition after it was reorganized in 2002.
Celia Donna Claire Christie Samuels for outstanding contribution to academic medicine, pediatric infectious diseases, child health, and public health.
Celia Christie Samuels is a professor of pediatrics at the University Hospital of the West Indies and Jamaica's perinatal, pediatric, and adolescent HIV/AIDS program. She has a passion for children. Anybody who knows her knows that she's passionate about her work with children who have HIV and AIDS.
A well-deserved honor this morning for Professor Celia Christie Samuels.
Her mantra is no child in Jamaica will suffer from pediatric and perinatal HIV/AIDS as long as she's around.
And we thank her so much for that kind of commitment.
Indeed.
And we'd just like to remind our viewers and those persons who may have relatives overseas who want to tune in.
Dr. Claudette Hall Clark for outstanding contribution in the field of education.
So if you'd like to join the feed, we do have a live feed on the JIS website, jis.gov.jm, where you can watch this morning's proceedings.
On screen, we have Dr. Claudette Hall Clark, who has been in the teaching profession for over 40 years. She started as a teacher at Almond Town Primary School before moving to the Ministry of Education as an administrator.
His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Homer Davis, for dedicated public service in the field of local government.
Councillor Homer Davis began his political career about 20 years ago as an active member of the Jamaica Labour Party. In 2007, he was elected councillor for the Anchovy division in the Southern St. James constituency. And he's also a successful businessman and managing director of Efficient Hardware and Haulage Equipment Company Limited.
The Honourable Mr. Justice Courtney Donovan Day for outstanding service to the judiciary.
The Honourable Mr. Justice Courtney Day has served Jamaica's justice system with distinction for more than 35 years. His legal journey started in 1983 as clerk of the courts assigned to the Halfway Tree Courthouse. He then joined the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution as acting Crown Counsel and served there from 1984 to 1988.
Mr. Stephen Brian
He's still
Facey
a
for
Supreme Court
outstanding
judge today.
contribution to real estate development, banking and financial insurance sectors.
Stephen Facey is the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Pan Jam Investment Limited and Chairman and Managing Director of Jamaica Property Company Limited. Of course, that's a subsidiary of Pan Jam Investment. After completing his studies overseas, Mr. Facey returned to Jamaica, where he started his career in the family business, Pan Jamaica, where he has worked now for over 38 years.
Mr. Michael Trevor Gardner for services to the medical sciences, in particular anatomy and to the arts.
Professor Gardner is former head of section for anatomy in the Department of Basic Medical Sciences at the University of the West Indies. He spent 37 years in that section and 14 years as its administrative head. His area of research is in natural products and aspects of surgical anatomy.
Senator Cavan Anthony Gale, Officer of the Order of Distinction, for outstanding contribution to the trade union movement and the public service.
Senator Cavan Gale is a strategic and visionary leader who has been at the helm of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, the BITU, since 2007. His primary areas of focus include conceptualizing and implementing the strategic direction of the union while providing the highest level of representation to the Jamaican worker.
Dr. Joyce Louise Glasgow, for outstanding contribution to education and human resource development locally and internationally.
Dr. Joyce Glasgow has played a critical role in advancing the development of science education at the secondary and tertiary levels. She worked extensively in developing syllabuses for the teaching of the sciences at the secondary level, locally and regionally, and at the tertiary level she focused on environmental education for teachers. We see the Governor General stepping down off the dais to present the award to Dr. Joyce Louise Glasgow this morning. Congratulations to her.
Mrs. Jennifer Aline Griffith for contribution to the tourism industry.
Mrs. Jennifer Griffith is Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism and has been since January 2006. During her time, she has contributed significantly to the growth of the Jamaican tourism sector. As the Chief Administrator of the Ministry, she provides policy advice to the Minister of Tourism and strategic guidance on all matters to the agency and agencies that fall under the Ministry's purview. Of course, those would include the Jamaica
Honourable
Tourism Board,
Mrs.
Tourist
Justice
Board.
Anne-Marie Angela Sinclair Haynes for outstanding service to the legal profession and the judiciary.
Mrs. Justice Haynes has dedicated over 2 decades of outstanding service to the legal profession in Jamaica. She was appointed a resident magistrate in 1989 and a puisne judge in 2006. Justice Haynes served as a Supreme Court judge before being sworn in to act as a judge of the Court of Appeal in January 2015. In November of that year, she was officially appointed as a judge of the Court of Appeal. She has a reputation for handing down judgments expeditiously during her tenure at the Supreme Court.
Mrs. Lorianne Hendrickson Lynn, for outstanding contribution to agro-business and entrepreneurship.
Mrs. Lorianne Hendrickson Lynn was appointed head of the CB Group 23 years ago, a move that led to the transformation of the poultry company into a highly diversified agribusiness. Today, the CB Group has expanded into 3 main divisions, and under her leadership, the group acquired several high-profile brands, which allowed it to increase production and to expand. I also had the privilege of working a little bit with her
Mr.
on the board of the
Bruce
Jamaica House
Cohen
Basic
and
School.
Henriquez for dedicated contribution to public service.
Mr. Philip Henriquez is a businessman par excellence. He has over 2 decades of experience in business administration and is currently the managing director of Kingston Industrial Agencies Limited, a position he has held since 2002. He has served as director of the Chase Fund since 2002 and assumed the chairmanship in 2007
Mrs.
until
Maxine
2011.
Antoinette Henry Wilson for outstanding public service.
Mrs. Maxine Henry Wilson has contributed significantly to the development of Jamaica's education system as an educator, administrator, and of course as a politician. She served as Minister of Education between 2002 and 2007. One of her landmark achievements was the preparation of a blueprint for the transformation of the education system, which continues to be the essential guide for the reforms now taking place.
Mr. Norman Washington Horn for contribution to entrepreneurship and community development.
Norman Horn is founder and chairman, chief executive officer as well, of ARC Manufacturing Company Limited, formerly referred to as ARC Systems, one of Jamaica's leading manufacturers, has been so for more than 22 years. The company is among the top 3 suppliers of building materials in Jamaica and is also a success in the regional and international markets.
Mr. Eric Sylvester Hosin for contribution to the insurance industry.
Eric Hosin has contributed almost 30 years of service to the insurance industry. He's the immediate past president of the Insurance Association of Jamaica and is also serving a 2nd term as president of the Insurance Association of the Caribbean. He is the first Jamaican to serve 2 terms at the helm of that regional body.
Mrs. Jean Anita Laurie Chin for excellent service in communication, entrepreneurship, volunteerism, and philanthropy.
Another outstanding Jamaican, powerful woman, Jean Laurie Chin, is an exceptional communications consultant, seniors advocate, author, and newspaper columnist. She launched her own company, Procoms, in 1978, providing public relations, advertising, and marketing services to several local and international corporations and organizations, including Digicel, Food for the Poor, Pepsi, and the Sandals Group. Also known for
Mr.
volunteerism.
Robert Anthony Macmillan for outstanding contribution to the advertising industry.
Mr. Robert Macmillan is chairman of Jamaica's oldest advertising agency, the pioneering Macmillan Advertising Limited, founded in 1929, Stacey, by his late father, Dudley Macmillan. He received the highest honor of the Trans-Canada Advertising Agency Network, becoming inducted as a Master Advertising Practitioner in 1987. He's been in this business a while.
And has done so much to regularize, to organize, and to elevate the advertising business in Jamaica.
Interestingly, he enjoys growing exotic species of
Mrs.
trees
Lorna Allison
and dogs.
Myers for outstanding contribution to business entrepreneurship.
This is the chairman of Restaurants of Jamaica Limited, Mrs. Lorna Myers. She became the first woman to be inducted into the Private Sector Hall of Fame. She was considered a trailblazer for Jamaican female entrepreneurs when she went after and secured the KFC franchise for Jamaica 43 years ago. Today, Restaurants of Jamaica Limited operates both the local KFC and the Pizza Hut franchises, which collectively has 46 locations and employs more than 2,000 Jamaicans.
The Honorable Mr. Justice Leighton Bruce Pusey for outstanding service to the judiciary.
Justice Pusey has rendered many years of distinguished service as a parish court judge and a puisne judge. He assisted in spearheading several initiatives geared towards the reform of the justice system and has given critical support to judicial education at all levels of the court system. He is also a volunteer for ISCF Jamaica.
His Excellency Seth George Ramokan for outstanding public service.
His Excellency Seth Ramokan is Jamaica's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. He also served as the Consul General of Jamaica in Toronto from 2009 to 2014. During his tenure, he was appointed Dean of the Caribbean